everybody, Fiber Spider back again in the kitchen to share another cooking experience with you. Today we are going to be making miniature quiche. Yes, it is very simple, as you know, when you have the sort of basic components going, and it is totally customizable. Now, instead of using a usual sized pie tin, we're going to be using a cupcake mold. Yes, so they are, nice small individual serving sizes. They are adorable. They are so easy. Now, so this is a standard size cupcake tin. You can, of course, go mini, super mini if you want, with itty bitties. And these are bite-sized, really. Just one bite does the trick. But I like something a little bit more substantial, so we are going to be making with this today. And essentially, it's eggs and milk. Essentially, that is the basis. And then we can get really creative with the add-ins. Now, as far as the milk, well, you could use milk, a combination of milk and heavy cream, or you could use half and half, which is what I happen to have on hand. It's sort of the best of both worlds. So we're going to get our ingredients ready and get started. Hello again. Alrighty, so we're going to start with the basis of the quiche, which is the fluid element. So it is essentially, like I said before, it is eggs and milk. Now, so we're going to be using half and half. We're only going to be using 1 cup of half and half. And the eggs, okay, we're going to be using 4 eggs. That is sufficient enough to fill all 12 of those, okay? Now, if you don't have half and half, and you're using a mix of milk and heavy cream, you would use half a cup of milk and half a cup of heavy cream. So, there you go. All right, so let's get started. Okay, so I got my eggs. We got 4. So it's all about the ratio of eggs versus half and half or milk, So essentially it is, when you really break it down, it is a 1/4 of a cup of liquid per egg, okay? Whether it's a mixture or straight out half and half. And I'm having issue already. There we go. See, with me and cracking eggs, yeah, I want to go in aggressive, but as soon as I do that, I end up usually having an issue. Like this. There we go. And they have those fancy schmancy egg crackers. But nope, I'm old school. And of course, it just erupted all over. It went squirting out. Oh God. Great, another thing to clean up. Never, ever a dull moment. Nope. Okay, there we go. Okay, bear with me. Now I gotta wash my little hands. Ay. Okay. And grab a paper towel for now, at least so that things aren't slick. Even got on the floor. My goodness. Okay. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Drama. All right, so we have our 4 eggs. And now I need a cup of half and half. Now, before adding the half and half, I am going to beat these eggs senseless because they didn't want to do their homework. and they wanted to give me grief. So, let's do the doing. Like, yes, I know that I could use a whisk, but a fork is totally adequate. Also, another thing is what you could conceivably do is make a crust. Honestly, I think that these are fabulous as is, that it's really not necessary. You could, but for me, simplicity is the rule of the day. So we now have our half and half. Throw that in. There we are. Okay, mix it up a little bit more. And as far as the crust goes, you know, if you were to use one, you could make the crust by hand, or you could use a pre-made crust, pre-made pie crust that you get, and then cut it out to fit the cupcake insides. You know, you could do that. I think that this is just fine, you know, personally. What are your thoughts? So now from here, going to add a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. Not going crazy, but just give it a little something. So, you know, approximately 1/4 teaspoon. There we go. And then same thing with the pepper. Now, of course, you could also get creative with the spices. You know, if you want to use, say, oregano or basil or, you know, really whatever. Paprika. I'm just going, you know, sort of old school, salt and pepper. Nothing major. And give this a little bit of a mixy mix. And that is the basis to the quiche. It is that simple. So now for the add-ins. Let's get started. All right, so now as far as the add-ins, you can get really creative, you know, as far as what you want to put in. You know, mushrooms or spinach or feta or, you know, all sorts of craziness. Me, I have a couple of things that I foraged. I have some leftover ham from the freezer that it's been defrosting, and I have some bell pepper and some red onion, and I think that this is going to be fabulous. So, all right, so we'll start with the red onion, and also, you know, I should get a bowl. There we go. So just going to dice up a little bit of red onion. Nothing major crazy. Also, as far as specific measurements for how much, this is totally an eyeball kind of maneuver here, all right? There's no exact measurement as far as what you add in, because you might want more or less of something. And this is a fabulous way of getting rid of some leftovers, trust me. So just going to dice these up a little. There we go. Pop these in there. You know, give it some color. give it some flavor, and we are good to go. Actually, yeah, that needs some help. There we go. This bit too. There we go. See, I thought I was sufficiently dicing what I was doing. Apparently not. Okay, there we go. So, got that, a little bit of red onion. And now, a little bit of bell pepper. That gorgeous. So, going to dice up a little bit of this. Again, giving it a little bit of color, a little bit of texture, and a little bit of flavor. And dice these up. Now, when I first made this recipe, actually, I did not go nearly so crazy with the add-ins. My mom had brought home some leftover hash browns from when she went to the diner. Oh, the oven has preheated. Yeah, she brought home some leftover hash browns from the diner, and I thought that would be neat. I mean, I love potatoes, and since they were already cooked, I didn't have to deal with them in any other fashion. I'm like, that's cool. So yeah, I ended up using all of the leftovers of the hash browns, and I thought it was delightful. Now, what do you think you would add to your quiche? What sort of flavors? I think this is going to be nice. All right, now I just need to cut up some ham, and we will be reasonably set to go. There we are. Okay, let's chop up a little ham. This was one of those spiral cut hams. I love it when the vast majority of what I need to do is already done. So minimal amount of actual prep work involved. So I'm just going to dice this up and throw that in. Also, you could quite conceivably use bacon, but I would suggest using cooked bacon if you're going to use that. There we go. A couple more pieces, and then I think we're good. And yes, this was pre-cooked. This was leftover. So I'm not using raw ham. No. And like I said, this is a great way of getting rid of some leftovers, and that's not cutting. All right. So I think we should have enough, and if I don't have enough, I can always cut up some more. Not a problem. So let's move this to the side. There we go. Wrap this up. There we go. All right. So just one more thing to do. Let's get doing it. All right. So this is, by the way, this is a silicone cupcake mold. Now, in spite of it being silicone, you really should spray it with a cooking spray, okay? Because I was overconfident the first time I made these. Like, oh, I don't need to use the cooking spray. Yeah. Use the cooking spray. They were easy to remove, but there was a lot of, like, actually, like, baked on quiche on the bottom. And it was a pain in the to clean up. So, use the cooking spray. I'm a total advocate in this instance. So what I like to do is I like to pour a little bit of our egg and half into each cup first. And like I said before, if we need to, you know, we can always add more. It's just a quarter of a cup of half and half per egg. Now, I am out of eggs, so we need to make this work. Okay, and so I'm going to, from here, start adding in my fixins. Now, obviously, it does not go all the way up to the top. That is actually a good thing, because this does raise when it bakes, okay? I didn't think that it would. Oh, no, seriously, it does raise when it bakes. I'll tell you, yes, it does. So right now I'm just trying to make sure that all of these little cups get some of the ham and some of the pepper and some of the red onion. Don't have to go too terribly crazy, but I'm already halfway there. And I love the flavors of onion and peppers and the ham. So, and I'm the only one that's actually gonna be eating these, so I'm good. And then after we have utilized all of our ingredients, then take the remainder of the mixture and then pour it on top. Just sort of an even distribution of our ingredients here. There. And last but not least, pour out the remainder evenly. And there isn't a heck of a lot, but we're going to do what we can. And then our secret weapon shall be deployed in just a moment. Cheese! Now, you can, of course, grate some up fresh, or you can get the pre-done store-bought stuff that I have. Either way. And as you can see, the only thing that I actually measured out during this entire process was the amount of half and half. Everything else is just sort of like, okay, we are going with it, we are getting creative, and we are getting funky with our bad selves. So if you have a little bit of this and a little bit of that in your cupboard, in your refrigerator, yeah, go for it. Have fun. Okay, so it doesn't come completely up to the top, as you can see. There's still like about like this much space from the top, and that's good because they will rise, okay? So last but not least comes the fun part. Let's get the cheese. Let's get the cheese, please. Yeah, so I'm using reduced fat sharp cheddar. Honestly, just go with the fat. Let's have some fun, huh? Also, I find that when it does have the regular fat content, it tends to melt better. And of course, I didn't cut it all the way. They're messing with me. There we go. And so right now, you just sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle on top. A nice, healthy sprinkle. Now, another thing is I would suggest try to keep your cheese within the cupcake mold. You know, previously I went a little bit crazy and there was cheese all over the top. And yeah, it is a pain to clean off, even though this is silicone. So save yourself a little bit of grief, and if you do spill some cheese, try to clean it up before you throw that into the oven. So just a nice, healthy sprinkling on top. Yeah, see, I'm making a mess already. I'm good at that. Everybody's got to have a talent. That just happens to be mine. There we go. Couple more to go. Almost there. I like to have a nice covering of the cheese on the top, quite frankly. There. All right, so what I'm gonna do is actually, before popping this into the oven, I'm gonna clean this up and we will go from there. Alrighty, so like I said, my oven had preheated to 375 and we're gonna leave them in for about 20 to 23 minutes. So I'm going to go with the 23 because I would much rather have it be a little bit overdone than underdone. And last time it worked out just fine. So into the oven we go. Woo! There we go. All right, so timer 23 minutes and start. Okay, so I will see you in 23 minutes. Be right back. Alrighty, so it is just about time to take out our little quiche. And it is a good thing that I did not fill those cups all the way up, and you'll see in just a moment, because they really puff up. Let me show you. Woo! Hot stuff. Yeah. Oh my gosh. There we go. And da-da-da-da! Mini quiche! It's like they're trying to escape their confines. So lovely. They look great. They have a nice golden hue on top. And we are good to go. Also, it looks as if that the cooking spray really did help because they do not appear to be adhered to the sides this time, which is a good thing. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to let these cool down quite a bit for two reasons. One, so that I don't burn my face off when I try to eat them, and two, because that way they will hold together better when I take them out of the tin. So I will see you in a little bit. I figure maybe 15-ish minutes, and we will do the taste test. See you in a bit. All right, so after letting them cool, pop them right out. The cooking spray made a huge difference. I can't stress this enough. Use the cooking spray, okay? And This is the result. They look gorgeous. I couldn't be happier, and I cannot wait to try one because this is different than the first time that I made them, different add-ins. So instead of hash browns, we have ourselves some ham, some red onion, and some orange bell pepper. So, bon appetit, let's give this a try. My mouth is watering. Mmm. Mm-hmm. Mmm. Really good. I mean, I know I should probably be using a knife and a fork, but hey, my kitchen, my rules. This is very, very tasty. Mmm. Mm-hmm. Spot on. Really good. And I was concerned actually initially that the pepper and the onion was going to remain like really crispy. Actually, no, it cooked nicely in there, and the ham gives it a nice little bit of saltiness to it. Um, the only thing I think I may have wanted to maybe do a little bit differently, more cheese. You guys know I'm a freak for cheese. I love cheese. Mmm, really good. Just a slight crunch to the pepper and the onions. However, if you want to, you could saute the vegetables first, just a little bit, before adding them in. That's fine too. This, I think, is just fine. When it comes to eating, I'm pretty low maintenance, in case you hadn't guessed. So, mm, mm. Very tasty. Also, I'm a big fan and advocate of hot sauce, so might add some of that on top as well. It makes me think, actually, I mean, because it doesn't have the crust, it sort of makes me think of um, sort of like a Western omelet, but in a sort of a puck form, if you will. I like it. They're very, very tasty, and you can keep them in the fridge for several days. Just wrap them up nice, in saran wrap or foil, wrap them up. Or you can pop them in the freezer and keep them for quite a while. And then thaw them out, heat them up, boom, you're good to go. So this is great for, especially if you want to have something very accessible and easy for a breakfast. Lots of leftovers and totally customizable. So what I want to know is if you were to try this recipe, what add-ins would you add in? What sort of flavor combinations? Have you made this sort of recipe before? And if so, let me know. I'm always open to constructive criticism and to, suggestions and so forth. But as always, please be kind because I will never say that I'm like a professional in the kitchen. But I am open to, constructive criticism. Emphasis on the word constructive. Please be kind. Um, but absolutely delightfully tasty, really enjoyable, and I'm going to indulge in several more this evening. And, well, I hope you enjoyed today's video. And if you did, please give a little thumbs up button down below because you know that I appreciate your appreciation. And I have so much fun doing these videos because it enables me to be creative and I get to eat afterwards, as I say. It's a win-win, and I get to show you something new. So, you know what to do until next time, right? I want all of you to stay inspired, stay caffeinated, stay cooking, stay baking, stay making, stay shaking, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay safe, everybody. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you soon. Bye for now, and have a great day.